What's up, y'all? It's your boy Ruben. New video. I know it's the third one this week, but this one's going to be a little bit different. I wanted to touch on this subject because in the last 24 hours, it's just kind of been weighing on me. And if you know anything about me, I'm big on integrity. I'm big on, being a man about stuff. Case in point, when the Jacksonville Jaguars signed Urban Meyer to be the head coach, all I talked about was what kind of man he was. I didn't like the signing because I didn't like what happened in Florida with all the arrests and what kind of culture he was, festering there with children. Uh, well, they're college children. They obviously weren't little children, but you know what I mean. I didn't like how when things got tough, he went ahead and bounced on them. I didn't like how he covered up his friends' domestic abuse. Not only did he cover it up, but he brought him to Ohio State and, basically rewarded such behavior. I didn't like when he tried to hire the Iowa strength coach that was let go due to, racial issues. Okay. I said he wasn't a good human being. Now, what does that mean in this situation? Uh, I felt compelled to do this video because yesterday I did the video about Deshaun Watson getting the 200, I think it was 30 million guaranteed, big trade going to Cleveland. And as a football fan, I wanted to go ahead and report on it from a purely football perspective. But the name of this channel is Another Level Sports, and this is the other level that I want to go ahead and provide that I don't think I see a lot of people talking about. And I don't have a lot of followers, and if I lose some here, or if if this is going to be held against me, then it is what it is. It's my channel. I appreciate all you guys that share, subscribe, and definitely support. But this is something that I'm always going to stand on, and it's being uh, a good person, being a man of integrity. I am a man of faith, and I don't want to get too preachy on you guys, but I do believe in God, and whatever power you serve, that's fine. But I think character is big, and I try to conduct myself in a way that I'm an honorable man, an honorable person, a person that my name means something to me. And I've had situations where I've been really down, right? I've been so down that I didn't want to wake up in the morning. I didn't want to eat. I couldn't sleep. I didn't want to see people. And I've been really down in the dumps, okay? And I could have turned to the dark side, so to speak. I could have lost faith and I could have decided, you know what, I'm just going to do me, F everything I grew up believing in. Um, and took certain shortcuts that might have compromised me as a man. And I didn't. And I feel like while that was hard, okay, and I think we all get tested in this way at some point. And while that was hard, um, because I stayed the course, I feel like what went around came back around in terms of while I was down and I got knocked down and I hit rock bottom, I was rewarded for that faith. And those of you who know me, I spoke about this in my wedding vows that I feel like, for me, that blessing was my wife. And I'm nowhere near where I want to be yet, just yet, in terms of like where I'm at in life and the things I want to accomplish. I'm not there yet. And I think we all have that. And I don't want to make this video too long, getting too preachy, but I definitely feel like, especially with is it Women's Month, especially with, man, forget the gimmick. All right, our women are not protected the way they should be protected. Okay, and I don't just mean black women. I mean all women are not protected. They're not valued. Um, they're not being held to the standard. We as men are not holding each other to a standard that should be held um, to make sure that our women do feel protected. And in this situation, while I'm not saying Deshaun Watson is guilty, and let me first state that I'm a big Deshaun Watson fan as a football fan, and I don't know if he's guilty. I just know that the criminal charges were dropped, and like everybody else, I sort of assumed that just meant like, oh, he's innocent. Well, if you when you look at it, it really doesn't mean he's innocent. It just means that they didn't find enough evidence to say that he was guilty. So he's not exonerated. Now, I do believe that you're innocent until proven guilty. So, and I know that those points seem to contradict themselves on its face if you're listening. The reason I'm having this conversation is because, okay, you're not guilty, because you weren't proven guilty. But it's another thing to, okay, you're not guilty because you weren't proven guilty, that there wasn't enough evidence to prove you guilty. Let me start over. It's one thing to have the case dismissed. It's another thing to be exonerated, and he wasn't exonerated. And guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of this stuff is coming off the cuff. So if this video is not as professional as it usually is, I'm sorry. I just want y'all to see how I feel about it in a raw context. So while it's one thing to be found not guilty or that they dropped the case, and another thing to be exonerated, he wasn't exonerated, and he was rewarded with a $230 million contract, fully guaranteed, while he has 22 civil cases pending of women alleging sexual misconduct and sexual abuse. It doesn't sit right with me. It hasn't sat right with me. And does he have a right to a life? Of course he does. But the fact that a $1 billion industry can look the other way on this and just say, hey, that's good enough for me, it doesn't sit right with me. And this is why women don't feel safe and don't feel like they can come out and say the things that they need to say. And this is why abuse is a little too rampant. Now, again, I'm not saying he's guilty, but this doesn't set a good precedent for future issues. How many women are getting abused, thought about coming out, and then they see this shit? You see what I'm saying? Imagine if you're that victim. So it didn't sit right with me. Again, I'm a man of faith, and I say all of that to say that, mental health is real. If you do suffer from, mental health, I want you to know that there are people out here that care. There are people out here that can help. There are therapists. There are numbers you can call. Shoot, if you even just want to get away or you just want to talk about it, I'd like to help build a community that does that. In terms of, we don't have to just talk about sports. We can talk about life. The sports thing is obviously a hobby. It's something I'm really into, but I also ultimately want to help people. And I think people helping people is always going to be the way to go. So with all that being said, like the title of this video, how much is this soul worth? 230 million. 22 women alleging. If he's innocent, it's not right. Those people, those women should be tried criminally. You know what I'm saying? Because they're changing the fortunes of a young man. But to have this looming and for billionaires, this is why sex trafficking is a big thing. It's real. And for billionaires to be like, I'm good. This stain ain't gonna wash out, Cleveland, if we find out. What if something else comes up? I don't know what kind of language they got in that contract, but you know what I'm saying? And I only bring that up to say, I don't know if you're going to be on the hook for that money one way or the other, because last time I checked, guaranteed. I don't know if there's outs for it, but even if you have an out, do you rebound from this? You want to be that franchise? I know I don't. And that's why this and Urban Meyer was a choir boy compared to what this could be. So those are my thoughts, guys. I don't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to be a person that stood for something in an area where I don't feel like there's enough of us standing for it. Um, Protect our women at all costs. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Um, Hit your boy up. Let's talk about it. It needs to be talked about. Peace.